guys, Rob here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over the process of buying a new car. Not only new to you, but new to the market. So when buying a new car, there's often a lot of things to consider, such as the price of the vehicle, what brand you're looking for, what do you want in a car, what do you need in a car. If you've seen my used car video, that's one thing I stress a lot, is the needs versus wants of what you want in a vehicle. So I would definitely start by going through and writing down what you need out of a vehicle and what you want out of a vehicle, because that's really going to be able to help you narrow down the cars you're looking for when buying a new car. So my process for buying a new car would be, first off, never buy a car that is brand new, period, to the year. So let's say there's this new commercial out and you see, oh, the new 2022 Grand Huracan, let's say, right? It's a new Lamborghini or something like that. The first year of a car, there are always going to be bugs and things they fix over the coming years when they produce the vehicle. So for example, for my car, I have a 2013 FRS. There's a valve spring recall, which was fixed later on in the production process. So only a certain amount of vehicles had the recall. But if you buy a 2014, 2015, 2016, none of them have this issue. So I would always stray away from picking the first model year of a car, because there are always quirks and bugs that need to be sorted out by the automakers. Obviously, it's their first time making it, so how do they know everything's going to run smoothly, right? So that's one thing. I would always stay away from the first model year of a car. And I would also look at Consumer Reports. They have a ton of information from consumers like you and me, and they rate all of the new vehicles, all of the year-old vehicles, and stuff like that based on reports from actual consumers. So this is things like reliability, durability, etc., etc. So this is from people like us. So it's definitely better than reading, oh, 5 stars in this, oh, 4 stars from this, from the automaker themselves. Obviously, they're going to be biased and say, this is the best car on the market in this segment. So, to avoid that, I would go to Consumer Reports. I would also, just like I said in the used car videos, is go to forums or Facebook groups. Let's say you're buying a Camry TRD 2020 problems. I would always look at the problems, just like with the other video I had. There's videos everywhere that say, just like this, changes for 2020 Toyota Camry you can expect, or difference between 2019 and 2020 Camry, or things like that, where you want to see how they differ. So for example, my family has always been really big into Hondas. They've always been super reliable, but the past couple years the reliability is going down because a lot of automakers are adding in technology to their vehicles, and this is causing a lot of problems to occur. Cars now aren't just driven by the engine, but also by the computer that controls the engine and adjusts inputs to make sure the engine is running correctly. So a lot of automakers that have invested in the future of the technology, like Mazda, their reliability actually has gone up significantly because they've been working hard at both making their computers and making their cars run properly together. So here's a nice Mazda Cosmo over here, beautiful car. But that would always be something I would look out for. So if you go and look, Mazda has a couple new cars. These are all a newer generation of older cars, like the Mazda CX-9, CX-3, CX-5. But this car here, the Mazda CX-30, is brand new starting 2020. And although it's on the Mazda 6, I believe, chassis, and it's just kind of like the CX-3 body planted on there, I assume that since it's the first model year, there will be some problems that arise once consumers start buying the vehicle. So, although new cars are great, and they're always going to be coming out, I would always avoid the first year of a new model. That being said, once a model gets to be a couple years old, right now it's 2020, so in December there will still be 2020 vehicles on the lot, but they'll start to unleash 2021 vehicles. So if you are in the market for a new car in like the second half of the year when 2021 model years are coming out, I would definitely opt for a 2020 of a car that's obviously already in production, because it's still going to be a new car, it's still going to have under 50 miles on it, but there will be more incentive to buy it because dealers have new inventory coming in that they would like to replace the old inventory with, because the new inventory is obviously more expensive. It's the newest thing. People are going to be more enamored by it and want to buy it. So if you go in, you can use the incentive of, oh, you're running out of space on your lot. Cut us a deal. Work with us from there. So definitely look into the last model year of the car compared to where you are now. We're in 2020. I would look at like a 2019 new model on the lot right now, just to, get that extra savings. When new cars do come out, there are usually some incentives to buy it, but, they don't really outweigh the cost of the new vehicle themselves. So one thing to consider when buying a new versus used vehicle, which is why I often opt for a used car, is when you buy this car, you see it right here, Mazda CX-5, $25,190. Once you go and you buy that car, there's going to be the dealership fee, convenience fee, which is usually around $800 on it. If it's at another dealership, there's going to be about a $500 delivery fee, even if it's 2 miles. And there's also going to be the tax, which you have to consider into the price, which it varies state to state depending on where you are. But I think in Massachusetts it's 6.5%. So you're going to have to take that $25,000, add on the $800 for the convenience, and then add on 6.5% of $25,000 to your cost. So when you're buying a new car, always know you're going to be spending a lot more than the sticker price. With that being said, from that $25,000, the car is probably only worth to the dealership about, let's say, $21,000 or $20,000. Because when you pay for a brand new car, you're paying for the commission to the person who sold you the car, their manager, the dealership as a whole, and Mazda as a whole. So there's at least 4 people you're paying for the car, not just, the dealership. So if you were to go out and buy a 2019 with 75 miles from a private party, it would likely be, $20,000 in the same condition, but without all of these added fees on top from the dealer, the automaker itself, the sales representative, etc., etc., etc. So you're definitely going to want to choose wisely, make sure you understand all of the costs at hand, and really, ultimately, stay away from used or new cars, because they're really just not the best value if you're looking for value out of a car. If you're looking for something that's exactly your specifications, no one else has driven it, no one else has sat in the seat, then of course, buy your car new. But I hate to say it, but if you have any sense, you're gonna wait a year, wait 2 years, make sure that the prices on those cars go down, and you can still find a low mile, clean example for probably 3/4 the price. So that's my little spiel on buying new cars. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments and let me know what you think.